Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast. Movie Film Podcast, enjoy the show. Zachy and Brian are talking about movies. Movie Film Podcast on the radio. Welcome to Movie Film. This is episode 190, brought to you by Mr. Boy Productions. My name is Zachy Hassan, and I'm here closing out 2019 with my best pal, Brian Hall.
Hey, well, happy end of 2019.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
It is crazy. I just got used to writing 19 on my checks.
Yeah, well, I'm still writing 2010. I'm very behind.
Yeah.
None of my checks clear. It's the damnedest thing. It's weird because the decade is about to end now.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. I mean, we're seeing lots of lists looking back, over all sorts of things. I'm seeing things about popular memes of the last 10 years, and I saw a really funny one where it was like the end of Toy Story 3, where Woody's waving like goodbye partner to Andy in the car, but it was all these different memes waving from the porch to like a boy in a car.
Oh, that's really funny.
It's like, yeah, it's time to look back a little bit.
It does feel like this decade went by rather quickly, didn't it?
Yeah, it does feel that way.
Which I guess
maybe that's just, I don't know. It just happens quicker and quicker the more you live. I have no idea.
The older we get.
Yeah. Maybe because there's less markers as well, right? I mean, when you have school and you have all these sort of important things that you're reaching toward, and then eventually, I don't mean this in some like depressing existential way, but then you just start working and there's less sort of life, milestone sort of things, and it's the things. So it almost becomes something where you have to make sure you keep track of all those things.
And then eventually you just you lie down and pull a blanket up over your head and you die.
Yeah, and then a big monolith appears at the end of your bed. And
yeah. Well, we're about to be what would it be? 19 years past the date of the movie about the monolith.
Wait, what? How much?
19, right? Yes, 19. 19. My math is correct.
Oh! I was thinking like the actual release date versus.
No, we don't do
the date is supposed to take place.
I live in a world of fiction, Brian.
Yeah. Wow, that's weird to think about.
That is weird. It's weird because I mean, 2001. We will always think of that as a future movie.
Mm-hmm.
The date
because they have the Pan Am flights, to the moon, and
that's right.
Yeah.
But regardless, Christmas just ended. How was your Christmas?
Oh, it was very nice. I had my parents out here. They come out here every year. And, we just kind of hang out. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of sickness going around. I was sick. Well, as listeners know, unfortunately, I was sick a couple times recently. And then my brother got sick. And so it was very relaxed and letting them take it easy. But it was still nice. And, I was trying to look back and see if I'd watched any Christmas movies. And I don't really know that I did all the way through. But we did find ourselves often stopping. I don't know if you guys are into these at all, but we stopped on a couple of those Hallmark Christmas movies.
Oh, okay.
And it's funny because, I mean, in recent years, I think it's been a long-standing joke that those are all about a plucky young woman from the big city goes to her hometown and meets a guy with scruff on his face,
Yes.
And he works at a Christmas tree lot.
That is literally
bookstore.
That's every single one.
Yes. And so I think that had been around for a while, but it's since... to me, it seems become almost an empire. And I feel like this year, I think they had over 40 films. And now I'm seeing merchandise, like this is my Hallmark Christmas movie sweater, and all those things. And so, it's funny with those things too, because I think they know what they're doing. Like they're intentionally insanely corny and predictable and whatnot. But it's funny how you can start one and immediately go, no. Like you'll get 10 minutes in and all of us as a family be like, not this one. But then you'll watch another one and you're like, all right, where's this going? And what's going to happen. They're going to end up together, but somehow it's very watchable. So it's very funny. Like some of them are really, really watchable and some of them are just immediately, it's a waste of time. So
yeah,
have you ever seen any of them?
I don't believe I have the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, okay.
But I, kind of, they go up for sale on Vudu every once in a while.
Sure.
So I sort of scan through and I'm like, wow, it's like
it's like hundreds of titles and 4 premises.
Yes, it really is.
What's funny is there was like this mini controversy recently. Did you hear about this?
I'm not sure.
There was a controversy because Hallmark was running ads from a company called Zola, and one of the ads was depicting a lesbian wedding.
Oh, I saw like a headline for this. I don't really know the story.
So they basically they pulled that commercial. Because they don't want to upset their core audience. And I remember hearing that, and I'm like, oh, come on, Hallmark, catch up to the times, right? And then I see on a website called Salon.com, they had, in response to that, they had an article called "Hallmark Movies Are Fascist Propaganda." And then I'm like, okay, maybe let's find a reaction somewhere in the middle here.
Right. Well, yeah. Talk about the last decade. Doesn't that sound indicative of like headlines and the way that headlines went from ad has been pulled from the air and was brought back.
So I'm just like, well, yeah. I mean, truly, that is the most 2010s exchange possible.
I know, it's amazing.
But I did watch Home Alone.
Yeah. Last year I think I stopped on it every single time I came across it on AMC or something. This year I didn't see it once.
Yeah, it is, and people who listen to the show know that is my tradition. So I make time to squeeze it in whenever possible. So we watched that, and then right after that we watched the episode about Home Alone on the movies that made us.
Yeah, which is really great, right?
Good series.
Yeah, and that one in particular too, because I mean, we did our commentary on Home Alone a year ago, and we go through the IMDb trivia and other sorts of articles and interviews, and so I feel like my head is crammed with all the info about the making of that. But I still found it interesting, and hearing from the people themselves, right? Chris Columbus, the director, and some of the people who worked in different departments on the movie. Those are really well done. I like those a lot.
What was new information for me was the fact that Daniel Roebuck was originally cast as Marv.
Yeah.
And that's kind of an Eric Stoltz situation for him.
Yes.
Vis-a-vis Back to the Future. But more interesting to me is the fact that they had gone to... Actually, it's very similar to Michael J. Fox when I think about it, because they had gone to Daniel Stern first.
Right.
And he was like, no.
Right.
And he, too, is, because he's one of the talking heads, he's like, can you imagine... Like, they came back to me, and how lucky I was that they came back to me, because I would live with that for the rest of my life.
Right.
Not having, and who could know? That's the other thing I was thinking about, because Home Alone, I mean, truly lightning in a bottle. Who could know that 29 years later we would be talking about it, and it would be this tradition, for people across the generational spectrum.
Yeah, that was something I took away from that documentary as well. The fact that, I mean, the movie was almost shut down, right?
Yes.
And people weren't interested in making it. But then it goes on, and we know this, but it's interesting hearing how it almost doesn't happen. There's almost a universe where it doesn't exist. And then it does by a thread, and then it becomes the number 3 top grossing movie of all time.
Yes.
And it's number 1 every single weekend for more than like 2 months.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things you kind of have to admire the people that have instincts for this stuff. They're like, no, this movie's going to work. The executives and the people who are like, no, I know it's crazy. I know it seems bonkers, but this is going to work. And then you see that pay off. And then the people who don't believe in it and that they have to live with that and look at Variety for the next couple months and see their folly,
That's because you and I on this show, we often talk about stupid studio heads. Like, oh, what are they thinking? It's obviously, it's easy for us to be, armchair quarterbacks, right?
Exactly.
But like, for every story of like Warner Brothers letting Home Alone go, or Universal passing on Star Wars or whatever, like how many bullets that were dodged do we not hear about? Right?
Yeah.
So there's also that,
Well, it makes me think now of most recently Cats, where in the weeks building up to Cats, I just saw something this morning. It said it looks to lose about $71 million. And the weeks building up to this, I was like, yeah, it looks weird, and I'm not going to see it, but I feel like there's an audience for this. I thought it was going to do fine. I didn't think it was going to be a gangbusters, but I thought it was going to do fine. And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, on paper,
yes,
you say, like, let me put it this way: on paper, it's easy to see both the good and the bad. Mm-hmm. But from a dollars and cents perspective, you say, well, this is one of the longest running, if not the longest running Broadway shows ever. Mm-hmm. Hugely profitable. So clearly there's an audience. I mean, if you're a studio head, I can see that being appealing. Mm-hmm. That being said, I watched a scene online where Cat Rebel Wilson is like eating dancing cockroaches. And I was like, well, I can't imagine that's anything anyone signed on for, including Rebel Wilson.
Right. Yeah.
So that I feel like, because that's Tom Hooper, right? Mm-hmm. It feels like it could be a career damaging, not just damaging, I mean potentially career destroying kind of film.
Wow. Yeah.
Kind of a Michael Cimino-esque, you know?
Huh. Wait. Remind me who that is.
Michael Cimino got on the map with The Deer Hunter, and then he got off the map with Heaven's Gate.
Oh, I know Heaven's Gate. I didn't know.
See that?
Him. Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
You know, I see it potentially being something in that vicinity. I mean, we'll see. I guess. I want to be very clear. I'm not taking any kind of a joy in this movie being a catastrophe. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it. Yeah. And obviously, a lot of people worked very hard on it. I don't think any of the actors had any. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is you figure all these actors, Idris Elba, Judi Dench, Ian McKellen, etc. They show up and they've got the motion capture things or whatever, and you know they're told, "Oh no, it's going to look amazing." Like once we're done with it, I have to imagine that seeing that first trailer for all of them, like their hearts probably skipped several beats.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Well, and even as weird as it is, I mean, like you said, it is hugely profitable show. It was in the billions what that show has made in the past. And, there's always a slot for this sort of thing, like The Greatest Showman, Les Mis, like every year there's something and people show up for it. So on paper, I would have bet on it to at least have done better than this.
But I mean, you don't spend $100 million.
No. Well, I could see, no, I wouldn't, but I could see, again, doing the math where they see that all these other ones, what they've made, you assume that this with the IP would at least rival it.
I mean, why not just go full animated?
Yeah, I read somewhere that was something Amblin wanted to do years ago.
I remember that from the 90s. That's because you look at this and it's like this weird Dr. Moreau, sort of escapee from your nightmares, right?
Yeah.
And it seems to me the smartest thing is you do a Pixar on it.
Yeah.
Singing and dancing cats, and at that point nobody cares about what a jellicle is or whatever all that because if you notice people are fixating on the wrong things. Because they're like, why does that cat have boobs? And why
right.
like, what's up? His wang looks too big. Like, it's weird, And it's like, this is clearly, they're focusing on the wrong things if that's what you're focusing. Or maybe the right things. Maybe the story is shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I know not one thing about it except for the song Memories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, what else? I mean, have you caught anything? Oh, actually, Brian, this is kind of fun. I inaugurated a new Christmas tradition of watching Die Hard with my oldest kid.
Oh, is this the first time he's seen it?
Yeah, he's seen like bits and pieces, just on TV. But this is the first time he's seen the whole movie. So I'm like, hey,
that's fun. What's it like watching it through his eyes?
It's fun, right? Because obviously I was watching the film now. The pacing is much more leisurely than I think we're used to now. Right.
The setup. I mean, there's a lot of setup.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like he has an advantage in that he's watched a lot of movies of that vintage. So he's not put off by the pacing. But the fact that he was able to appreciate all the things that they set up. Mm-hmm. Like the watch and the fists with your toes and things like that. that where he's like,
funny.
oh, that's cool how they see, the watch thing. I like that they set that up in the beginning. I was like,
Yeah.
that's good,
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. He brought that up.
He brought that up. So
Oh, funny.
that was fun. And then we did the movies that made us about that also.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, cool.
It's a lot of stuff we already know, but it's fun to just to see it.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, because I was watching the movie. Speaking of heart skipping a beat, I was having a cardiac episode when we got to a point in the movie that reminded me, and you'll remember this. It reminded me of a moment when our commentary track that we recorded, like just completely, we lost sync.
Yes.
So this is like peek behind the curtain, but it's been more than a year. So I guess we can open up, right, Brian?
Yeah, I suppose we've never talked about this on air. Yeah.
We never have. So when we recorded our commentary track for Die Hard, it was myself here in the Bay Area, Brian in SoCal, and Paul Shirey, Die Hard fan number 1, in Alaska, watching in sync. So Brian and I are used to watching these movies. We do it. With Paul, if I'm not mistaken, it was the first and only time going forward that we had somebody come in and watching separately. Well, no, when we did Last Crusade, was Sean watching it separately?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just the Alaska thing.
Well, yeah, but and we should also, just for complete clarity's sake, I mean, we take it pretty seriously when we do our commentaries, because though we expect most people are listening to them on the treadmill or on a commute or something, we know some people are watching them with the film.
Yes.
So we want to make sure they are absolutely in sync. And we've even stopped and started over when we feel like Zachy and I have been out of sync, because we
Yes.
really want these to line up. And we've
Right.
even had people sync them to the movies and make files and send them to us, which is incredible.
So cool.
So we really respect it. And so anyway, that with that in mind.
Yes. So the issue is we lost sync, and so we tried to pick up from the point that we lost sync, and the track itself lines up with the movie.
Yes.
However, it only does that through the forbearance of one Brian James Hall, who because you got these 3 files, and you're
Yeah.
trying to put them together and make it all fit. And I was out at the family, and I'm getting like texts from you all day as you're getting progressively more insane.
Yes.
By the end, it was just like XYZ, R, just letters.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Well, 'cause
like the middle finger emoji.
Well, there was a moment where there had to be a cut. And so it had to be wherever we started up again had to match the seconds, right? So it's
Yes.
wherever the good part ended and the new good part started, they had to match up perfectly. And long story short, it was very difficult. And then we tried to naturally start when we were recording, so it sounded like there was no error.
Yes.
And that was the first moment where I started to lose my mind, because remember that I kept saying the same thing, but for some reason we did it like 3 or 4 times, and one of them was me just cackling with laughter because I was like, this is going to be a nightmare.
So I think if you were, now everyone's gonna like go into the archives and like find that episode.
I can tell them where to find it.
I don't know. I see. I don't listen to the show, so I haven't listened to that one. I would assume.
Wait, can I, just as long as we're telling this whole story.
Yeah.
Then what happened was when I fixed it, just because the way it had to sync up and the way that we started a new conversation, it led to there being about a 10-second gap of silence. Because we had to wrap up what came before and then move on to the next thing. Right. And I was like, you know what? Commentaries have silence all the time. It's fine. So I put it out that way. And then our friend Sean texted me and said, did you know there's like 10 seconds of silence in your Die Hard commentary? No. And then I forwarded that to you, I think. And you were like, Brian, I know you. You're going in there again, aren't you? I don't even remember what I did, but somehow I filled that silence.
See, I have not listened to the episode, so I'm very curious if people who listen would catch it. But my point, anyway, very long story. We got to that point in the movie.
Yes.
And I was having like a minor cardiac episode.
Yes, you with your son.
Yes.
Yes, and yes, I know exactly what was happening on screen. I remember, I think it was like 29 minutes into the film. Yeah. Excuse me.
But the one thought I did have revisiting Die Hard, which I've seen many times, I'm like, it's amazing what Bruce Willis is like when he gives a shit.
Yeah. Which we haven't seen in a while.
We have not seen that. Right. I mean, even in Glass earlier this year, which, by the way, does that not feel like 4 years ago?
That is crazy. I was feeling that way about Captain Marvel recently. I
Yes.
can't believe that was this year.
But even in Glass, which arguably he was more kind of into than some of his recent stuff, he's just like tired and over it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, it makes me sad.
Yeah. I mean, and M. Night Shyamalan back in '99. I mean, he was sort of the guy that brought Bruce Willis back into straight up acting,
That's true.
right? Like playing a character and being and that was really exciting. But it feels like it's been a while since we've seen something like that.
I mean, you had Tarantino. I think,
Sure.
Sort of kickstarted him.
Pulp Fiction in '94, do you mean?
Yes, 95, I think, right?
I think it's '94.
Oh, okay. So that, and then Die Hard 3, because there was a moment, I think, between Die Hard 2 and 3 where it was like Bruce Willis is over.
I see.
Because he did, like Last Boy Scout didn't do well, and then what was that, Striking Distance with Sarah Jessica Parker?
Right.
And there was something else. The Color of Night, is that what it's
Color
called?
of Night, yep.
Right, that's the one. That was like the Skinamax.
Yep. So very 90s.
Very, very
Those
90s.
erotic thrillers.
The pitch was like, hey, you can see Bruce Willis's wiener.
Yeah. Hey, Zacky's not making a joke. That's true.
That was basically...
Yeah.
But anyway, he had that moment, and then he kind of came back on the back of Pulp Fiction, and then Shyamalan sort of carried him
into the 2000s.
Exactly, right. And then he started not caring again.
Yeah, and then now it's a lot of straight to sort of VOD.
Yeah,
kind
too
of
much.
stuff.
I saw a thing. This was again on Vudu. It was Bruce Willis and Michael Chiklis.
Huh.
And I'm like, Michael Chiklis was like the made-for-TV Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And now
well,
they
they
just
should
caught
be
up
playing
with each
brothers, by the way. So I hope they at least were doing that.
They are. Oh, you don't know if they were.
No. I'm just saying they should.
They should, right?
Yeah.
Like literally, Michael Chiklis. I remember this when he started doing The Shield. Is when he got buff and he shaved his head, and he was specifically like, I want to be the next Bruce Willis.
Right.
Well, I guess in a way he got his wish.
right.
Anywho, sorry, it's after Christmas.
Yeah, no, we just thought this would be like this is like a hangout episode.
That's what it is, as opposed to every other episode where.
No, that is like serious business.
That's hashtag work.
Yeah.
So you have not really caught any of the big holiday releases, have you?
No, I'm seeing 1917 tonight.
Oh, okay.
Which I very much look forward to talking about. I feel like that I'm seeing, and I really would like to see Uncut Gems.
Yes.
And then I feel like I'm kind of caught up. I mean, there's maybe one or two others, but
I saw Dark Waters, which I mentioned to you in our last episode.
yes.
And I also saw Bombshell, which I don't know if I talked about.
No. I've heard like kind of stuff on it. So
That's kind of where I am.
yeah.
Like I appreciate The Craft and Jay Roach, who did Trumbo, which I really liked a couple years ago.
He's a pretty reliable director.
Very much so, I agree.
Yeah.
And this film is not so much Trumbo; it's more like Game Change and Recount.
Yes.
And so kind of it's weird because it kind of needed an Adam McKay. Because I think Jay Roach is very sort of straight ahead, shoot an approximation of history, And I think what this needed was more of a Big Short style twanginess,
And it certainly appeared the trailers were trying to sell it as that.
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
And on the performance side, Charlize Theron plays Megyn Kelly, and she is amazing in terms of how she embodies the character. Right? The problem to me is I'm like, yeah, but Megyn Kelly is not, like, she's kind of terrible too. Like, so it's weird, like, not
To
in
make
any
her
way,
the protagonist, you mean? And
to
then,
make her the protagonist, right? And not in any way to say that what happened to her at the hands of Roger Ailes is played by John Lithgow, that's okay, because of course it's not. But I mean, she is problematic. You know, I remember she did a whole thing where she's like telling kids, like, "Oh, kids, don't worry, Santa is still white."
Right.
Because there's like a black person playing Santa, or, you know, she's like, "I dressed up in blackface, like, who cares?" I'm like, you gotta stop with the black stuff.
Right.
It's not working for you. So the performance is good, but it's also, it feels like an impersonation.
Sure.
You know, and I don't know. The film is meant to be kind of it's depicting Roger Ailes, who is awful, but it's obviously a critique of Fox News and Fox News culture, which I'm all about. The critique, that is, but it feels like it's preaching to the choir a little bit.
Sure.
Right. So yeah, I think I was hoping for more, and I wouldn't say it's a thumbs down, but it's not really a thumbs up for me either.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, the trailers were intriguing, but it just, as it came and went, it sort of lost my interest.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're missing anything.
Yeah.
You know. That being
What
said,
else? You got. I know you got the screener hookup. I didn't get as many hookups this year, so I'm a little behind.
And the pile of screeners is just as long as my arm. You know, I can't get to them all.
Yeah.
So I'm just not trying. It's how I deal with life.
Well, anything you have seen that you feel like I may have missed, or all of us have missed, that's worth checking out, that you were able to see?
Well, I did mention 1917, right, in the previous episode?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think I don't remember if you did on air, but you.
I definitely am glad you're watching it, and I'm definitely looking forward to discussing that with you.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that.
You know, yeah, I've got like a week left of break, so I'm like, well, maybe I'll watch some, you know, maybe I'll catch up on those screeners, but honestly, that pile is pretty, it's
daunting.
pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
You know. However, we do have some letters that we've gotten over the past couple weeks that I wanted to throw your way.
Cool.
So this is a message that I got from Carlton Volks. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And he writes to us from France. And this is in reference to our First Blood commentary track, which you may recall, we in the early goings of that track, we threw to commercial, and you mentioned offhandedly that it's that you don't know what the commercial is going to be.
Yeah.
We never know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the commercials are geocentric, so wherever you listen to it, that's what it's going to be reflective of.
Right.
And so Carlton says, Brian wondered what was going to be sold in the ad for this episode. Here in France, it was a travel agency promoting winter vacation spots. Mm-hmm. And he actually sent us an audio capture via Dropbox link of us going to the commercial and then this ad coming up.
It's amazing. It was so cool. And it was also just awesome to know that he's listening over there in France. I mean, gosh, we have no idea, you know, and it was really... that was really exciting, and it was also really fun that he was like, "Oh, Brian wants to know. Here, I'll show you."
You need to ask for kind of more important stuff, Brian.
Right. But no, when Zachy shared that with me, I was just so delighted. So thank you very much for doing that.
So this is a question that we got from Hamza Moin, who says, "Congrats on making it to the end of the decade." It's pretty crazy. And it's crazy that we were around for the majority of this last decade, by the way.
Yeah, I forget. I was hanging out with some people I worked with several shows ago, and they were mentioning my podcast. And I was like, wow, I forgot that this was in that era of my life. I mean, yeah, it's been a while.
A lot of real world and movie world stuff has happened in the interim. But he says, I always love your year-end recaps of your favorite movies of the year, and I'm wondering if you're also going to do a recap of your 10 favorite movies of the past decade. Now, that would be quite an interesting episode.
Wow.
If not, it'd make for a great Facebook comment thread, at least.
I'm into it.
I think, well, so our next regular episode, we're going to do our year's best.
Yeah.
And then I would think that the episode after that, because January is kind of a dead time anyway, that might be kind of fun. We do our decade's best after that.
Yeah, I think that'd be, I'd be interested to look back.
It's I have a few that rise to the top, but I mean the sheer volume of releases over the past decade. It's gonna be, and it's crazy actually because we do our annual best, and it's like have our feelings on those changed.
I think about that sometimes because a lot of the ones that end up toward the top are movies, that come out at the end of the year.
Yes.
And there's a lot of buzz and excitement around them, and you're so excited to finally see them. But am I as excited about them years later? I have no idea. I mean, some of them, yes, obviously, but some of them, maybe not.
So that is a coming. So you can look forward to that.
That'll be. There's one that immediately comes to mind that will definitely be on there. So that's, that'll be a task.
Well, so we got obviously a whole bunch of responses to our episode-long dissection of The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, and if I can just say, too, a lot of discussion on our Facebook wall, and I try my best to read all of that stuff because I love it. I love reading all the discussions on there and all the comments, and they're so funny and so, insightful. And but having my parents out here, it was really hard. I wasn't on the internet a lot. And so one day I was like, I haven't seen much notification about that post. And so I just went and checked on it, and I saw there was almost 80 comments on it. And I was like, whoa! So I went through them and read them all and just loved it. It was great.
Well, and we got a few. So what's nice is we were able to sort of help people sort of crystallize people's reactions.
Yeah, that was interesting.
For example, here is a comment left by Matt Ev on Facebook, and he says, "Been looking forward to this. Only seen the film once, slightly out of my mind with fatigue at a midnight screening, and came out with somewhat mixed feelings, largely due to the frenetic pace of the first half. I suspect a second viewing will clear up a lot of my issues, just haven't managed one yet. But this podcast did a lot of that work for me. I can't tell you how much I valued your insightful reflections and ponderings and all those nuances and connections you draw out and the sheer joy you take in this universe. Just absolutely wonderful stuff. Wow. Zachy, Brian, I could kiss you if the Bigger Brothers hadn't made me sign a form that said I could."
Brilliant. Chef's kiss. Yeah, because we referenced that Simpsons episode in that episode.
So thank you for that, Matt. This is another comment that was given to me via Twitter. And this is from Marshall Perry, who says, "Just wanted to give you props for that Rise of Skywalker podcast. I enjoyed the film quite a bit and had a blast watching it in the cinema. When I left, the excitement was dying as I started to think about it. In your podcast, you provided some insights and views that flipped some of my criticisms into positives, and now I really have a great opinion of the film. Thanks, and keep doing what you do."
Wow. Thank you. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's gratifying,
It is, yeah. And I would completely understand too if people are just sort of, fixed on how they feel about it, and they listen to us and we're like, yeah, I hear you, but I still feel this way. But it's really interesting. That's the fun of movies, and that's the fun of this podcast for me. I know is seeing something that you get excited about, or you feel one way or the other on, and just talking it out. And I know that was definitely, with that movie in particular, obviously there was a lot of expectation. And as I said on the podcast, the first time I saw it, I was like mixed to negative. Huh. And then got to see it a second time and talk it out with you. And I just felt, I don't know, so much lighter about it. And I was like, man, that was really fun. And I remember you had really great insight into a lot of things I hadn't thought about. And it's just really cool that these people felt, were part of that conversation. And it got to reflect on the movie, just hearing that talk, and change their minds a little bit and look at it a different way. I mean, gosh, it gets me energized about doing this show, to be honest.
The thing really, like you said it right there, lighter, right?
Yeah.
You took it lighter. And I'm like, this is fundamentally the problem I see with just so much of the discourse surrounding this franchise is people treat it like gospel from on high, and anything that deviates is sort of, it's antithetical to people's belief systems. And I don't see that ever going away. Unfortunately, I think there's just, people just have too much of their identities plugged into this. Mm-hmm. And I can respect that because to a large extent, you and I have our identities plugged into this franchise.
Yep. Yeah.
Right? But I don't know. I truly feel like if I stop enjoying something, I'm just going to stop and I'm going to get on with my life.
Sure.
I haven't hit that place with Star Wars yet, but hey, if it happens, it happens. Mm-hmm. And what I've seen over the last week is just the nastiness. And I'm like, anything that makes you so nasty, you got to ask yourself if it's worth it.
Yeah, sure.
Right? The stuff people say about Kathleen Kennedy, the stuff people say about J.J. Abrams, the stuff people say about Ryan Johnson, whoever. Mm-hmm. I think we've talked about this before, but like to me, I fully get why George Lucas walked away.
Right.
Because there was no winning. Mm-hmm. Like even now, the third trilogy was ostensibly supposed to be based on his idea.
Right.
Had he made the trilogy before selling, he would have gotten shit on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Had the movies been made on his ideas, he would still have been shit on.
Yep.
I mean, right now, Disney's getting crapped on because, you didn't use George Lucas's ideas.
Yes.
Right? Right? Now, had they used his ideas, people would be saying, why did you use George Lucas's ideas?
Yes.
Tell me I'm wrong.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Right? And so it sucks that George Lucas, the guy responsible for creating this thing that we take so much joy in, just felt like there was no. He was like, "Give me my $4 billion, and I'm gonna live on a llama farm." I don't know.
Yeah.
I choose to imagine him living on a llama farm. That's
yeah.
Right? Because there's just no winning,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we see that in the film's box office, right? Or rather, let me rephrase. In the conversation surrounding the film's box office. In that, this is a movie that is at 750 million worldwide.
Yeah.
So it's within spitting distance of $1 billion.
Yeah.
So when all is said and done, it will have crested $1 billion and however far it goes above that. But that is objectively a smash hit.
Yes.
And yet you've got people who are like, see, this shows how nobody cares about Star Wars anymore.
Right.
And it's like, what are you doing? And I just saw somebody online created this whole spreadsheet looking like and using quote unquote math. And I say quote unquote because they're using figures that they pulled out of the sky.
Right.
To prove that not only is the Rise of Skywalker a disappointment, but in fact, Disney has lost money on the purchase of Star Wars.
I don't know how that's possible.
Yes.
But okay.
Which, I mean, there's so many things to say about that. Which, number one, I agree with you. It's highly unlikely that that's the case. But second of all, does any of that money either enter or leave your pocket?
Right.
If not, who cares?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
I should point out, by the way, good friend of my lifelong friend, Jason Thorwall. I saw him over the break, and he heard us reference the button. We're like, we need a button that says "Life's too short," or just right now when you went, "Who cares?" And so he actually bought me for Christmas buttons that you can program that we can hit for the show based on that comment. So I was thinking, "Who cares?" needs to be one of them. Hey, who cares?
Who cares? But regardless, I think it's worth pointing out. I think Rise of Skywalker currently is at like 362 million domestically. Mm-hmm. So it's catching up to where The Last Jedi was at roughly the same time in its release. And I think that's worth mentioning only because The Rise of Skywalker started about 50 million lower.
Right.
So, I mean, it's doing fine.
It's fine. They're all fine.
I think there will be more Star Wars.
Yeah, right.
So with that in mind, with the fact that there is going to be more Star Wars, I figure we talked about one Star Wars finale last time. Mm-hmm. We can close out the year by talking about another Star Wars finale for this episode.
Yeah, That sounds good. I assume you were talking about Disney Plus's The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian just wrapped up its first season, first of one presumes many seasons, just a couple days ago as we're talking here. So let's take a short break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk through the season as a whole of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, can't wait.
And we are back, and so The Mandalorian just wrapped up the 8-episode premiere season just a couple days ago, and the conversation surrounding this show has been very different from the polarizing commentary surrounding like literally everything else about Star Wars.
I know, it's been kind of amazing, right? It's been across the board pretty positive. I mean, I'd say very positive actually for this.
Well, to the point that people say stupid stuff like, oh, the people in charge of this show should be responsible for Star Wars instead of the people responsible for the movies.
Right.
To which I say, it's the same person, jackass.
right.
So yes, of course, Kathleen Kennedy is executive producer of The Mandalorian, created by Jon Favreau and executed quite well by both Favreau and Dave Filoni. So this final episode, really, final, quote unquote final, because it's just sending us off into the next season. However, I was surprised that there was a degree of finality to this episode, or closure to this episode, that I wasn't expecting. In that it does feel like they wrapped up a story.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely with send-off or a setup, rather, for next season. Yeah, I think. Well, should we just say spoilers? I
think people. Yeah. So we're gonna get into the season as a whole. So that includes the season finale. So if you haven't watched any of the episodes or the most recent one, I would hold off on listening, because assume from here to the end we will be engaging in spoilers.
Spoilers. Yeah, when this show started, I mean, it was such a mystery, right? We've heard about a Star Wars TV show for years. George Lucas was teasing the idea of one, but just said he couldn't afford to do it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't know what to expect. And I think some people even wondered if this was going to be about Boba Fett. That would almost be a reveal, right? Just because of the armor. And I mean, no one knew what this was going to be.
Right.
And it was to my surprise when it started that it was a little less serialized than I expected, even though it did have a continuity to it.
Yeah.
Chapters 1 and 2 felt like they went together, but then it sort of became this episodic adventure. And then the last 2 episodes, 7 and 8, felt like they went back into what was set up in 1 and 2, to me at least.
Right.
I don't know. What did you think about that? What did you think about the structure of this series?
I think it's smart, and the reason for that is the episodic diversion, I guess we'd say, in the middle, does a nice job of expanding the boundaries of what to expect within this series.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I think that's smart to start out by saying, hey, we could be doing one of these, we could be doing one of that, we could be all kinds of stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So, we as the audience are like, well, hey, there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of stories they can tell with this character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Right? As opposed to, I could see what happens in the first 3 episodes. If that was the sole template, I could see that becoming a little bit, a little dull after a while.
Yeah, I will admit it took me a minute when I realized that I think it was the episode where they had the villagers, right? And they sort of taught them. It was sort of the Magnificent Seven or Seven Samurai, whatever you prefer.
That was my least favorite out of the whole season.
I would say that was one where I was like, oh, I didn't realize we were going to be doing this. And then there was the other episode where the rookie bounty hunter wanted the Mandalorian's help, and I was like, who's this wiener? Yeah,
that's right.
I would say those 2. I was like, I mean, I'm still going to keep watching, and there's things I like about each episode, but I wasn't sure if I was going to love it.
Yes.
But then I got used to the conceit of it. And I have to admit, I was happy. I really loved the last 2 episodes.
Yes.
So I was happy when we returned to that thread. But what did you think of the episode with the prison escape one?
So, you know what's funny is, like, I thought it was fine. But it was weird because the online conversation was much more sort of over the moon about it than I was.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I mean, I hate to say it, but to me it felt like they built like a T hallway set, and they're like, how can we use this T hallway set for 30 minutes? And I wish I didn't feel that way, but I kind of did. And my girlfriend was really funny too. She was like, yeah, I'm not so sure I like that Harley Quinn character they tried to throw in there. And I was like, yeah, she was kind of like Harley Quinn.
Totally. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I liked seeing Bill Burr, and I think we may have said this on the episode, but it was a funny exchange where the one guy, what's his name from Batman Begins, he's like the guy he hires Mando, to join the thing, and he's like, oh yeah, this guy, referring to Bill Burr, he was an Imperial marksman. And he's like, well, that's not a great vote of confidence. He's like, I wasn't a stormtrooper, jackass, or whatever.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, they underscore that in this latest episode.
Oh, it was that made me laugh.
Very funny.
Yeah, what was it? There's like a can or something on the ground. They're trying to shoot at it, but they just keep missing.
What made it funnier is that it's Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally.
Right.
Just being Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally.
Which is funny because I do enjoy the buffoonish banter that the stormtroopers tend to have, even more so now. Because that goes all the way back to A New Hope.
Yes.
I mean, not buffoonish, that's a little strong for that, but where they're just
sort of working class
chit chat. Exactly.
Yes.
And even I'm playing Fallen Order right now on PlayStation, and if you don't make yourself known, you can hear the stormtroopers chatting with each other about silly things. It's funny.
Yeah, I feel like because this last episode was directed by Taika Waititi, so that conversation felt very Taika being like, "Hey, just talk," right? And I feel like he found basically the line. Like, that's as far as I want to go.
Agreed.
As far as laughing at stormtroopers.
Yeah, also because we're going to shoot them in a minute.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which
yes.
is kind of, you don't want to, yeah, it gets tricky.
Well, but that's interesting too, because what do we see both stormtroopers just wailing on a bag containing the Baby Yoda.
That's true. That did make me angry.
Right? And to the point where, I don't know if you saw this, but the Second City put out a statement, jokingly, obviously, saying, we know what Jason Sudeikis, our alum, did to the Baby Yoda, and we just want to know, we didn't teach him that. Like...
That's funny.
But yeah, no. So the point is, there's a I think the season, the 8 episodes, did a pretty good job of saying the boundaries of this world are, kind of whatever we state out here, right? Mm-hmm. And that leaves a lot of room to go in different directions. To the point that, I mean, at the end of the season, we finally find out the Mandalorian's real name. We see his face, and it's not like, oh, it took you long enough. It's more like a nice surprise. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's funny too. The show kept not doing what I expected, and even in the final episodes, I watched them together, so I forget which one is which. But when you had him and Gina Carano, and the IG-11 and Carl Weathers, I was like, I like this team. Like, let's do this. Is this next season? Like, great. I love it. Right. And then they completely upend that, right? And IG-11, man, in such a short span of time, he became a character I really loved. And
they did a T-800 with him.
Yes, I read that down. Yeah, the robot in lava. Yeah. It was great. And and turned him from a killer robot into a protector. Yeah. Right down to the lava ending.
Yeah. So, I mean, very smart. I mean, I think they've done a nice job of constructing a world that is, the world existed before the show, but a world of a show that still retains the uniqueness of the Star Wars world. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because that's the thing, right? Because there's a little bit of like, oh, what's a what is a Star Wars TV show going to look like? And you wonder, is it going to be like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is to the MCU?
Mm-hmm.
No disrespect to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I happen to like, but you sort of have to squint a little bit and be like, well, they have like a fraction of the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it is.
There was only one scene where I felt the budget, and I think it wasn't terrible at all, but it was when he had taken the baby. I'm just going to call it Baby Yoda. I know it's not Baby Yoda, but I'm going to call it Baby Yoda. He took Baby Yoda back, and he was trying to escape that town, and all the other Mandalorians showed up, and he was in this like hovercraft thing trying to get toward the end, toward the exit. And I felt the fact that the set was only about like, like half a football field long, but they were trying to stretch it out a little bit.
Yes.
That was to my stupid eyes, but that was the only moment where I really felt it. Because otherwise I felt like it looked fantastic. I mean, all the ship stuff looked incredible. Like the flying through space and when it would land. And apparently that was a real model a lot of the times, which I thought was noticeable in a good way. And I love going back to what you said just a second ago about what we expect to see from Star Wars and having all this stuff in this series. I love just seeing speeder bikes show up.
Yes.
That's just, some stormtroopers have speeder bikes, and seeing the Sandcrawler, and I don't feel like they do too bad of a job of going, look at that thing that you like. It's just, it's integrated, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, a lot of people are saying something to the effect of like, the future of this franchise lies on television, and I think that's true, not as sort of a negative comment about the films, but I think, and this goes to what we said before, like when we were talking about Rise of Skywalker, like let the movies sit for a little while, let them be special. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, take advantage of this Disney Plus platform to explore all these different things, because I think what the first season of The Mandalorian has done is to buy them that Cassian Andor series. Mm-hmm. And, not the Obi-Wan series, because that's like pre-sold.
Right.
But, I don't know about you, but certainly for me, there was a little bit of me like, is there enough of a story to do something about Cassian Andor, even if I like the character?
Agreed. Like, he worked well in an ensemble, but I don't know how interesting that's going to be. It remains to be seen.
So, sir, I would assume, well, and you were going to watch it anyway, you know that. But like,
of course, I'm going to watch anything with Star Wars on it.
You will at least give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
But this season ends, and you're like, well, okay, there's a lot of room for them to play with. Let's see what they do. Mm-hmm. I think there was I guess John M. Chu, who directed Crazy Rich Asians. He's saying, if he's telling Disney Plus, he's like, I will direct like a Rose Tico focused thing. Mm-hmm. And on the one hand, I'm like, well, is there an audience for that? On the other hand, I'm like, I'm curious. I'd check it out.
Me too. Me too.
So I think that's kind of a fun thing with this, and actually just to piggyback off what we're talking about, this goes to a note that Jeremy Lloyd sent us via Facebook in reference to The Mandalorian. He says, I've been really enjoying The Mandalorian and had a thought the other day. I remember when there was a Yoda origin spin-off movie rumored to be in the works. Do you remember that?
I do. I've forgotten about it, but yes.
And I have to wonder if the child, this young Baby Yoda, is their way of exploring a character of Yoda's species origin without doing a straight-up Yoda origin movie, which I did not want them to do. Just a thought. I really enjoy seeing a new character of Yoda's species brought into the Star Wars universe. And, I mean, it sure feels like they're headed in that direction, right?
Yeah, because, I mean, that was where we're left off, right? Like, we have to bring him back to his people.
Yeah, so the Mandalorian, a.k.a. Din Djarin, who looks a lot like Pedro Pascal. It's the damnedest thing.
Yeah.
I was expecting them to take off the helmet and there'd be like a weird boner on his head or something, like a Star,
what?
Like a Star Trek alien, like this.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
like a weird molded penis looking thing. I don't know. That's what they tend to do on Star Trek, so I'm just used to that.
Right.
But no, he looks like Pedro Pascal.
Yep.
He's like, hey, I'm going to betray you guys one day. That's like,
yes, that's your, yeah.
That's the Pedro Pascal way.
Yep.
That is the way.
Kingsman and yeah.
Anyway, so he takes the baby and he's like, we're gonna find his people. Well, that's I don't know. So on the one hand, I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. On the other hand, in my mind, I'm picturing like the end of Mac and Me.
I've never seen it. What is
the
it?
beginning of Mac and Me, where Mac and Me is like the, I mean, you know of it, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Mac
and most
Me,
people these days, especially because of Paul Rudd on Conan O'Brien.
Oh, that's right, of course. So Mac and Me is the unlicensed, knockoff ET.
Yeah.
And it's horrible, and it was made by McDonald's, by the way.
Right. So a lot of McDonald's. I mean, isn't Ronald McDonald in the movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. That being said, a big chunk of that movie involves like the adult family of Mac, like looking for him, and it's just super weird. And so just in my head, I pictured that as like the Yoda people, like
right.
Like turns out Yoda himself was just short. He was like Gary Coleman.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and do you think they all speak backwards?
No, I told you Yoda had a head injury. This would have been covered in that origin movie, which we never got.
Right.
He's actually super cool. He has like a British accent.
Right.
He's spouts Shakespeare, and then he has this tragic head injury, and it's all about like can he achieve? It's like Beautiful Mind, but with the Jedi.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe this should get made.
Maybe it should. But yeah, so presumably that's the arc of the next season, which starts in the fall, by the way.
Yeah. So it's a little ways away, but I'm sure something like this takes a lot of time.
So I don't know if you do this, but this has become like a ritual for me and the boys is after the episode ends, we get online and there's a couple channels like Screen Crush and I think New Rockstars that do like every Easter egg in this new episode.
Oh, I tend to come across those eventually, and I do click on those sorts of things, yes.
So for us, that's just our ritual now.
Yeah.
To the point where the boys are like, put on the Screen Crush, So
that's cool.
And they do the whole thing. And so this latest episode ends with Moff Gideon.
Yes.
Played by Giancarlo Esposito, who, by the way, tell me you didn't expect him to climb out of that TIE fighter and kind of like straighten his suit, and then he turns to the side and it's like just like a skull.
I know. I was thinking because his name's Moff Gideon, but I was like, it should be like Moff Fring or like
Moff Fring.
Moff Gustavo. I mean, that's who he's going to be to me. I love him.
I fully expected that. Like he climbs out, he's all fine, and then just like half his face does not exist.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess we should say, it's a reference to the actor played a character Gus Fring on Breaking Bad, and that's like one of the famous. Was that like a season finale?
It was certainly his finale.
His finale. There you go.
Yeah.
But anyway, he climbs out of the TIE fighter using a black lightsaber.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I was like, what is this black lightsaber? And so you find out that this is, in fact, an existing part of Star Wars canon. There is only one dark saber. And I know, that's cool. It belonged to the very first Mandalorian to be inducted into the Jedi Order. And at some point, so that Jedi was killed, and that lightsaber resided within the Jedi temple, whatever. It was reclaimed by the Mandalorians, and during the course of Rebels, so between episodes 3 and 4, it was used as like a signifier of like who leads the Mandalorian people.
Okay.
And the character. There was a Mandalorian character who was descended from that original Jedi who was working with the Empire to get that sword. Mm-hmm. And the Mandalorian character that Jon Favreau played earlier in the season, he did the voice of, is the descendant of that character.
Oh, okay.
Who was himself voiced by Jon Favreau on Rebels.
You know what? I didn't look it up, but I thought that was Jon Favreau's voice, so okay.
Yeah. Like, this is earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all them guys got killed, at least based on what we see at the end of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so my point is, without diving into the minutia of this, I appreciate that there is such a deep well of sort of, all this continuity. It all kind of is there, and they can pull from it and do all kinds of stuff. That's the fun of it for me.
Yeah.
And I haven't consumed all of Rebels, but what I have, I've enjoyed. But I like that there's stuff that show sets up that gets paid off later in this way, and there's stuff in Clone Wars that I think that's neat. That's fun. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, I think we all as fans have different degrees.
Yes.
Of what we're steeped in, and I certainly have my degrees. Like I knew who IG-88 was before this series, and I was thinking it's cool. A lot of people know what an IG unit is now, which is I feel like such a dork saying all this.
Loser.
But it's fun. It's cool. And I love having that become part of the bigger conversation of Star Wars fans. And likewise, I didn't know anything about that black lightsaber, and that was really cool. And so, but there are other people who knew exactly what it was and think it's really exciting. So yeah, it's really cool. It's all there, and it's fun when these new things can be a spotlight to shine on new areas we haven't seen, and bring it all into the light. It's fun.
And not just that. I mean, I think to some extent I understand now why a certain segment of fans was so upset when the old expanded universe was done away with.
Because this was that to them.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I get it.
Yep.
I mean, I got it then too, even though I didn't follow it. I was like, it would suck if I invested my time and energy into that. But I mean, people are told for decades this all quote unquote counts, and so they've spent their energy sort of getting caught up in the intricacies of this fictional universe, and then you're essentially told, nope, not anymore, right? That being said, the other thought I have is, if you truly do not like the stuff that Disney has done, then all of that is there.
Yeah, sure.
And it all fits together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like still there for you, and I'm not trying to sound dismissive. I'm like, well, then you have that whole other universe of stories, 25 years worth of stories.
Wow.
That exist, that all hang together, where Luke Skywalker got married and had kids, and Han Solo did whatever, and blah blah blah. It's all there. And it's not out of print. If it is out of print, it's not hard to find. It's all there.
Yeah, and it's nice that they even rebranded it, right? I mean, they call it Legends now or something like that. So it's kind of nice that they didn't just completely throw it into the furnace. What's
funny is I was talking to my 10-year-old about that, because he's like, "What's Legends?" I was like, "Well, that's all the stuff before The Force Awakens. They just said, well, this doesn't count towards the canon. It's just called Legends." And he says, "Oh, that makes sense," and he was talking about, there's a comic called Dark Empire, which was like 91, I want to say, where that was like the first big attempt to like bring Star Wars back, right? So there was a novel, the Heir to the Empire, and at the same time there was this comic series. And what is that comic series about? It's about the Emperor coming back. And so my kid says, "Oh, see, it's a legend because the Emperor did come back, but he didn't come back like that."
Huh.
And I'm like, yeah, you get it.
Yeah, this guy gets it.
Right? And it kind of, like according to legend, because in the old canon, Han Solo had a kid who turned to the dark side. And Luke Skywalker had a son named Ben.
Funny.
Right? So you say, well, okay, so what really happened, we just saw in these films. But yeah, it was like a legend, like, I don't know, Han Solo's kid turned evil. I think Luke had a kid. I think his name was Ben or something. Like,
right.
It's all lit. It's kind of there,
Yeah.
But that's it's fun. I enjoyed the ending of the episode. I felt like, okay, I'm comfortable with the world that this show has created, and I'm excited to see where we go next.
Agreed. I mean, I was pretty impressed with the last two episodes. They felt big, and the story felt, it had the stakes, and it got pretty exciting toward the end. So yeah, and the whole thing when they're in that river of lava and there's stormtroopers at the end, and then the robot. There's a lot of emotion, a lot going on. I thought it was pretty rich.
I think when we look at Mando's arc, where he starts out hating droids,
yes,
and then he's upset that IG-11 is. I mean, he told John Connor, right?
Yeah.
with IG-11, it was an effective arc for that character.
Yeah, I think so.
And in a broader sense, it shows, I think sort of the designation of him and Baby Yoda as a clan of two. I mean, I think that shows how he has sort of moved past the need to sort of, because he's not Mandalorian by birth, right? So he doesn't need to identify with them to that same extent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I think we all understood this from the first episode, but I mean, they're both foundlings, right?
Yes.
So there was something, as hard as he may be, when we had that little flashback, I think, in the first episode to know that he had some sort of experience being separated from his parents when he was a kid. But seeing the full flashback in the last episode, or second to last, whatever it was sort of sweet where we get the two images, right? With him as a boy over someone's shoulder, and then we get Baby Yoda over his shoulder.
Yes.
And it's nice. It's good.
So here's my question. So we were talking about the Tatooine episode.
Yes.
Which, by the way, that episode, I agree with you about the wiener. Let's just call him whatever.
Yeah.
But that, out of all of these, was the most like, oh yeah, you like that nostalgia? There you go.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I remember, I was like, Mos Eisley. I'm like, oh, that's where the Falcon was. Like
that's where Han Solo sat.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But you know what? I don't care. It made me happy.
That's exactly right. I love that. Amazingly, we have never been back to Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
Right. But do they say who killed Ming Na at the end of that episode? Are we to assume that that's Giancarlo Esposito?
I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I don't remember what you're talking about.
Okay. So
sorry if I got a little bit in one ear out the other.
So
but,
she's like the other bounty hunter, right? Who's...
Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. I remember that. Yes. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just wondering if that's like a dangling plot thread, or if they ever said that is somebody.
Yeah. That's another thing too. When I watch TV shows, even if I'm really into them, I don't tend to go back and rewatch them.
Right.
I always think I'm going to, and then I don't. But when this ended, I was like, I could see myself, when I'm looking for something just for like an hour, I could see myself popping back into this and watching the ones that I really enjoyed. So, I don't know. On second rewatch, maybe you pick up on a few more things like that.
Yeah. Well, the other thought I have, and this is something to think about for the future, but do you think Boba Fett would come back via this show?
At one point in time, I would have said no.
Yes.
But now that the Emperor's come back, it's like, what are you going to do?
The dark side of the force is a pathway to yada yada.
Or whatever. I mean, yeah, he got out. I don't know. Out of the Sarlacc pit is what I'm saying.
Because I feel like if ever there was a time to bring him back, it would be on this show.
Sure.
And
yes. Instead of giving him his own movie.
Like, nobody wants to watch a Boba Fett movie.
Right. Which was in the works for a little bit.
At some point. I think that was the thing Josh Trank was attached to, right?
Yeah.
However, they've now established Din Djarin as sort of a beloved character now. Mm-hmm. He's very quickly become beloved. So now would be a time to have him square off with Boba Fett and not have him feel like the low rent, non-fat replacement for Boba Fett.
Sure.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's just a thought that occurred to me, like, as I'm sitting here talking to you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be curious to see what that'd look like.
Let me put it this way. It feels weird to me that they would just leave Boba Fett dead. Like, in the sense that that IP is just sitting there waiting to be used.
It's tough. I mean, it's one of those things where, is anyone who dies really dead? And it's like, how are you going to take that? I mean, we've gotten used to sort of the comic booky world where the answer is no, they're not.
Right.
But in the Star Wars universe, I still don't know what that means.
Okay.
Would that feel like a betrayal?
See, I wonder, because again, harking back to the old expanded universe, they brought Boba Fett back right away.
Oh, interesting.
In Dark Empire, and he was kicking around for all of it.
Oh, okay.
So that death in Return of the Jedi was always a minor inconvenience.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which I could see.
yes, I mean that's
can
far
see that.
less final than what happens to Palpatine.
Right. He could sort of have blasted his way out of that thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I wonder. I mean, it feels to me like that would be a marquee thing. Boba Fett versus the Mandalorian. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. My predictions are traditionally historically terrible.
Not always.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But anything else?
I was just picturing Jon Favreau actually listening to this now with like a notepad, like, this is good stuff.
It's good stuff.
No, just this was fun. This was really, this was definitely the crown jewel, I would say, of the Disney Plus launch, right?
Yes.
And I've seen a few people saying like, well, done with Disney Plus now. But there's some thing. We got the Marvel shows we haven't even seen yet. We got the, like you said, the Cassian show coming up, and then I'm looking forward to the next season of this.
We got Jeff Goldblum like eating ice cream while wearing new sneakers or whatever the hell.
Right. But yeah, no, I dug this, and I look forward to the future of Star Wars TV.
And there we go. I think that is a positive note to end 2019 on.
I think so.
So we will be back in the new year. We will have 2020 vision.
That's true, yeah.
That's good. I like that. As we look back at the best movies of the year that just closed, and we got some conversating to do.
Oh man, I can't wait. I'm interested. I mean, I don't know. Looking back, like I said, I've forgotten some of these movies that come out at the beginning of the year. It's been quite a long year of stuff, so it'll be interesting what our lists look like. I imagine there'll be a little overlap, but I bet they'll be quite different too.
There may be less overlap this year than we usually have, I suspect.
Than typically, yeah.
But that's what you can look forward to in our next episode. We will also have, of course, in the coming year, plenty of new commentary tracks, etc., etc. The fun keeps happening here at the Movie Film Podcast. And as we close out this year, let me just cycle back to what I was saying at the beginning. I want to thank everybody for being such loyal listeners. You know, it's great. It's great to know that, you know, for some people, this is a show that they look forward to showing up in their feed. It's just a nice feeling, you know?
It really is. And just with the, you know, we get to see the amount of people that are listening, which is always nice, but we've just really been feeling a lot of the love lately, just with the emails and the notes and the comments and stuff. And it really, really keeps us going and means a lot. So yeah, I feel very honored to be a part of people's playlist during the week. So thank you.
I agree. And as we wrap up, I want to encourage everybody to please give us a little year-end present by going to iTunes and leaving a review, leave a star rating. Every little bit helps. And also, if you have any questions or comments for us, you can hit like on our Facebook page, facebook.com/moviefilmpodcast. You can also email us at moviefilmpodcast@gmail.com. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Twitter at Zacky's Corner. That's ZAKIS Corner. It's also my website, just add a .com. You can also find me at the San Francisco Chronicle, where just this past week, my retro review of The Godfather Part 3 went up.
Ooh, cool.
Which I get to write in a newspaper about how much I love The Godfather 3. Come on, Brian.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that was up. I look forward to checking that out.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think. I mean, you've heard me defend that movie, so
yeah.
And Brian, where are you at?
I'm still writing for Puppy Dog Pals, and new episodes we're right at the beginning, I think, still of season 3, so they're going to be coming all next year.
Well, there we go. And with that, I will wrap up 2019 here at Movie Film. On behalf of my partner, Brian Hall, my name is Zachy Hassan. Thanks, and have a happy new year.
Welcome, friends, it's the Movie Film Podcast.